Hi everyone, it's Melissa here at Chubby Acres Farm, and today we're going to go through with you what our procedure is in drying off our goats. We just got done doing our milk testing this year, and we're on 8 to 9 months with each of the girls milking. So now that we're done with our milk testing, we're drying the girls off in preparation for kidding in the spring. And so at a minimum, you want to make sure they are dried off for at least 2 months so they have time to recover before they have the next set of kids. We give our girls about 2.5 to 3 months, just depending on where they're at, so that we can get them all on the same schedule this year. And since they're going to be kidding around March 1st to March 7th, we're going to be drying them off today. And so our procedure starts with a normal milking procedure. So we're going to still clean the teat as we normally would with our hydrogen peroxide solution. We're going to milk them out as dry as we can get them. So you want to make sure you completely milk them out, strip the teat afterwards so that there's no milk left in the udder. And then we're going to use a product called Tomorrow, which is used for dry cows, also obviously sheep and goats. And so what this product does is a one-time dose after milking them out to help in the prevention of mastitis. So it's your choice whether you want to do antibiotic therapy. We choose to do this as a preventative to protect our girls so that we've got healthy goats while they're still going through their 3rd, 5th, and 4th month of gestation, that we're preventing mastitis or infection with them, which would certainly cause problems with their gestation. And then also, we now have stopped our herd shares, so we're no longer milking for human consumption or for our herd shares for raw milk. So now is the time to go ahead and use the antibiotics. So we're gonna have plenty of time for withdrawal periods, and we're certainly not using these goats for meat, so we don't have to worry about a meat withdrawal. So what we're going to do is we'll go through the steps quickly. We're going to just do a quick video on each step, and then we'll show you the final step, which is putting one syringe into the teat orifice and then administering that up into the udder, and then you massage that around. So we'll go through and show you guys each step and I'll show you how we do it. Okay, so step 1 is cleaning the teat in preparation for milking. So we're getting this on both sides. We're going to wait just a few seconds to make sure that that takes effect. Hydrogen peroxide is a nice, quick antiseptic. Again, we've said before, we try not to use water here. Soapy water and dish soap, or I guess any type of detergent, we've tried before on our farm, and I have found with research that this works a lot better. And since we test our girls and watch their somatic cell count as well as bacterial count, we're able to know that this procedure works for us. So we're using dry, fresh paper towels, and so we're using just one little spot to clean that. And we're just wiping down and trying not to reuse the paper towel very much. And then once we have that nice and dry, we're going to go ahead and strip the teat, and I'll do it with this. So we're just milking into a paper towel so it's not on the milking stand itself. And so we're stripping the teat, and then we'll move on to step 2. Step 2 is milking out the doe, and again, we're going to milk her out until she's completely dry. So we want to try to get as much out as possible. And since we just milked Patty this morning, she's probably not going to have very much milk left in her. So we'll go ahead and milk out, and then we'll show you step 3. Okay, so we've milked her out completely so that she's as dry as possible. And then step 3 is going to be putting the chlorhexidine antiseptic solution on the teat. And again, what that's doing is just cleaning the outside of the teat to make sure that we've got as sterile of a process as we can, because the next step is going to be inserting an antibiotic into the teat orifice. So we're going to go ahead and clean with this. And again, just to kind of show you guys, this sprays up. So just put a nice layer on there, and we're going to do both sides. And then we're going to let this sit for a few minutes. We're going to dry that off, and then we'll show you step 4. Okay, so we're on step 4, and that is the final step, which is administering the Tomorrow antibiotic. So we're going to go ahead and take the cap off. There's a nice little probe here, so that's going to go up into the teat orifice. You want to make sure you don't touch that area because that area needs to stay sterile. And so you should be able to see, I'm going to put my light on. You should be able to see there, the center. And so in Nigerian Dwarfs, you're not able to get all the way in for most of them. So you're just going to get partially in. You're going to hold it. She doesn't particularly like it. And you're going to squeeze all of the antibiotic in. Just takes a second, and she should be fine. I know, Patty, you're being such a good girl. Hold on. All right, so that's it. The antibiotic's in. And so the next step is just massaging the udder And you can see that didn't kill her, even though she thought that it was. I'm gonna take my light off. So I'm just massaging that around. I've got this area pinched. So you don't want to squeeze any of that antibiotic out. And then I'm gonna dry that. And the last and final step is one more spray of the Chlorhex, but this time you're gonna leave it on. And I'll show you that. So I usually try to make sure it's nice and lathered with the Chlorhex solution, and then I'll let her sit for a few minutes with that so that she completely dries, and then we'll put her out with the rest of the girls. And so at this point, drying the girls off, we don't milk them anymore. So now over the next week or two, we will be checking them, making sure they're eating and drinking normally, make sure they're behaving normally, and then we'll also periodically be checking their udders to make sure they're not developing any signs of mastitis. Obviously the udder is going to be a little bit engorged as they're drying off, but we're making sure at this point their milk production has steadily gone down, so they're not going to have a very large udder. And so we'll keep an eye on them, and then they'll be ready for their kidding season in coming March. Have a great day, guys. Take care.